one of the most important aspects of your English practice, and one thing you should really focus on, is lip reading. Watching and imitating how English speakers' lips move when they talk. Why is that so important and so helpful? Welcome to my channel, io sono Miriam Romeo e se capisci l'inglese ma non riesci a parlarlo come vorresti, then I would love to be your English coach. When you're done watching this video, go down below in the description box and click on the link to get a free mini pronunciation lesson. You'll learn 5 easy tips that you can apply right now to reduce your Italian accent when you speak English. So lip reading, why is this important? What do I exactly mean by lip reading? I have mentioned this a couple of times in this video that will link up here, for instance, but today I want to explain it to you a little bit better. So lip reading is an essential part of how we naturally learn to speak. All children learn to speak by imitating what they see. They do this instinctively, and what they see, what they look at, is people's lips. So the first sounds, the first syllables that kind of all children start to say are sounds like ma, pa, papa, papa, mama. They are the easiest to reproduce, to imitate, because the movement is very noticeable, is very external. You basically move your lips in a very obvious way. Mama, papa. So children know exactly what to do. They just do what they see. But other sounds will come later, gradually, because they are a little bit harder to imitate, because they happen inside of people's mouth, so they don't really see what's going on. They try to reproduce that sound as best as they can through trial and error until they can reproduce that sound. And sometimes they can't reproduce that sound perfectly, or they will learn a wrong posture, a wrong movement. That's why some people develop some speech problems, because some sounds are harder to reproduce, to imitate, because you can't see how it's done. I have a 3-year-old son, and when I speak to him and I'm saying new things, he looks really closely at my lips. He doesn't look me in the eye, he looks at my lips. He watches my lips. That's also why during the pandemic, when people were wearing masks all the time, children that were just starting to speak, they started having trouble and they kind of stopped talking. I hear this quite a lot from parents, that their children, they were like 18 months, 2, and they were starting to speak, and then the pandemic hit and they kind of took a step back. Now they're going to a speech therapist, maybe. That's because people had their mouth covered, so children didn't know what to do to speak. They couldn't imitate us. Their language development was hindered, blocked. That's how important lip reading is for language learning. Put it in a much simpler, more obvious way. If you want to pronounce the sound oo, but you keep your mouth open like this, the oo sound will never come out. And that's just logical, but many people don't think in those terms, so they don't focus on watching people's lips when they're watching movies, when they're speaking to someone else, to someone who's speaking English, and they're missing on a big part of it. So when I tell people to focus on watching the lip movements and then reproduce the same movements, they look at me as if I'm saying something silly. But if they don't watch what a certain sound looks like, not just sounds like, but looks like when people are pronouncing it, they will never be able to reproduce that sound themselves. Because every language has a set of sounds that involve a specific set of movements, of postures. English has a lot of sounds that require movements that you never have to do when speaking Italian. So they're new movements, but if you don't look at the movement, how are you going to know what you have to do? Now, I don't want you to come across as weird when you're speaking to people, but what you can do and what you should do is when you're watching something, a video, a TV show, anything, don't look at their eyes or elsewhere or whatever you look at their lips. It's such a crucial part. This is not just a tip that you can apply. This is what you're supposed to be doing to learn how to reproduce that sound, that language, and then imitate those movements. It's even better if you're looking at yourself in the mirror while reproducing those movements, while imitating those movements. Also do this when you're on youglish.com, which is a great source for practicing English, as I said in another video that I will link up here. So I hope this helped clarify things for you and that you now understand the importance of lip reading when practicing English, when learning how to speak English or any other language for that matter. So that's it for today. Now go click on the link in the description box below to get your free mini pronunciation lesson, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.